It's me.
Can you believe that, man?
The last word.
Yeah, that's right. You got it. Last word.
Welcome back to another episode of The Last Word. I'm your host, Owen L. Baxter, and we have got another great show for you. We want to start off with the NBA, but before we get there, we want to ask that you like and subscribe to the channel and join the debate, because we'd love to hear from you. But so let's start off with the NBA. The NBA has started, and we are in the first round of the playoffs, and somehow, some way, the Memphis Grizzlies pulled out a victory, and you would think that would be the headlines, but no, the headlines really comes after the game when Dillon Brooks, Dilly D, comes out and says that LeBron James is too old, or not too old, but he's old and he likes to poke the bear. Not only does he say that he wishes that he faced, I guess, the older LeBron, the LeBron of Miami or Cleveland Cavaliers, and that he doesn't respect anyone that doesn't put up 40 on him. Now, you look at this and you'd say that, Dillon Brooks calling out LeBron James, what's that all about? And I'll say this is disrespect, the disrespect on LeBron James. Dillon, I don't know what you're trying to pull. Of course I do, and this has got to be a tactic. You're trying to bait LeBron because we all know this is a contract year for you. And if you somehow pull off this feat of taking LeBron James out this series, you might just score some big bucks at the end of the season. But, come on, Dillon, the disrespect. I mean, I'm not even too much of a LeBron James fan because I am one of those faithful to Michael Jordan. And I don't want to, put anyone on that high pedestal. But I have to recognize the greatness of the King James. So Dillon Brooks, please. LeBron's old. I mean, he's still averaging 28 and 9. That's pretty much 30 points. And when we look at your numbers, what you're averaging, 14 points per game this year? Oh, let's look at your career. Oh, your career is still averaging 14 points. So you're somewhere in the, I don't know, mid-tier range of a basketball player. But it's just so disrespectful, Dillon Brooks, that you would come out and say something like that. But I get it, and I respect it. But I would just want to ask one question. Can you back that talk up? Because let's not get it twisted. The only reason why you have this talk is because of street clothes AD. He wasn't able to rise to the occasion, and he wasn't able to perform on the court. But, that's just my take. But I'm just so disappointed. Let me bring in my co-host here, Kyron. I want to get your take on this. Dillon Brooks, the disrespect. You got LeBron James playing his heart out, trying to do what he's got to do to put the team on his back. But AD, I remember you, top 5, you said.
Yes.
Top 5, right? Top 5. So the performance that we've seen, let's get to Dillon Brooks before we get to AD. Give me your take on what Dillon Brooks had to say about LeBron. He's old.
Hearing you bring up Dillon Brooks, it just, for some
It's
strange
crazy.
reason, my mind went straight to the name, and I know you'll enjoy this one, Ruben Patterson, or AKA the Kobe Stopper.
Ruby?
Someone who's tried to inject themselves into a situation, trying to amp up their name and their brand. I get it.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. There's a hierarchy here in sports. And who's Dillon Brooks to be talking to or calling out LeBron James? I understand why LeBron James is not responding. He's not of his ilk to be responding to a Dillon Brooks. Who's Dillon Brooks? Who is Dillon Brooks?
I mean, he's someone that's just
Who is
talking.
Dillon Brooks?
He's talking.
What has Dillon Brooks done? What has he done? Who is he? I know you want to, put your name out there, get yourself a little something, out here. Hopefully it can convert into something in, contractually for yourself. But let's be honest, LeBron, again, yeah. I don't know if LeBron has it in him right now to go and drop a 40-point on someone. So
It
hey,
might be
shout out to
tough at
Brooks
this
for
shit.
putting
Yeah,
that
he
marker
set
there.
the bar. He set the bar really high.
but,
You know.
but hey, LeBron doesn't need to respond to him. Who is he? But if LeBron is that dude, I'm not sure if he is that dude. He should drop a 40 and win the game, more importantly.
And you know, it reminds me of watching basketball back in the days. You know, no one dare say that to Jordan. You know, and if they did dare say something like that, he'd say, "All right, 50."
50.
You know, 50. You know what I mean? So, LB, you might just have to shut that man up. You know, show him what's up. Just give him one of these and drop that 40, as my man said. You know, we got last word contributor to the show. Kelsey Ross, thank you for joining. What's your thoughts on the topic, Dillon Brooks? You know, he had the nerve to call LeBron James old and that he'd rather face the old-time Miami of Miami Heat days and Cleveland Cavalier days, and he won't respect anybody if they're not dropping 40. What's your take on Dillon Brooks having a lot of talk after they were able to escape the victory with a victory last night?
Well, gentlemen, thank you again for having me in today. I'll get right to it with regards to Dillon Brooks. I think it's great for basketball. I think it brings extra eyes. It brings the casual viewer maybe a bit closer. You see Dillon Brooks with those big dazzle glasses and so forth. So I think it's just great. It's sports entertainment. Is it disrespectful? Hell yes. But I think it's great for sports entertainment and it's necessary. You need a villain, you need the hero. So I think Dillon Brooks is doing a great job being a villain.
And what do you think about the AD's performance last night? Do you think that if AD was able to probably produce just a little bit more, that the Lakers would have probably, won that game and probably seal the deal on the series?
I myself not being the biggest fan of AD, I'm a big person on body language and energy, and just again I didn't catch all the game, but I did catch it in and out, and just the body language, like I don't know, just being a player. Like, I've never been the best on a team, but I'm a person who likes to give my heart, and to look over someone so talented and just seems to give like no heart, no energy is discouraging to watch as a fan of basketball to watch. I can only imagine being a real fan of the Lakers or someone on the team.
Well, yeah, looking at one of those fans. And yeah, this is a part of it, right? Someone shows you who they are, right? You got to accept it, right? And him at his best is amongst the best in the league. So, yeah, there's going to be nights where he has these kind of performances. I don't see it happening again at home. Kelsey, who do you see winning this series, or do you see anything changing just merely based on Ja being out and potentially out another game, or with him, without him, any difference in the series, and who do you have winning the series?
Oh man, I don't want to say it, but some reason Memphis rubbed me a little bit wrong too. I'm not a big fan, regardless of how I think that whole thing is good. Dillon Brooks is good for the league. I don't like the whole narrative of the young guys think they can bark on the big man. So I'm looking for the veteran LeBron to take this disrespect as fuel, even though he dare not say it out in the public. But I'm sure, and I think Lakers somehow scrape this out. You know what? I don't know. I don't know, because Lakers have been so up and down. But I kind of want Lakers to win because Memphis is, they've been talking like they're champions and stuff and barking up, but
Yeah.
they haven't proven anything yet. So you know what? I'll be kind of emotional and say I'm not a fan. Kyron, my brother's a fan. Other brother's a Laker fan, but I think I want the Lakers to win this series.
Can LeBron James rise to this big moment and steal the life out of Dillon Brooks? You can take the last take on that one, because you have high hopes on your boy AD, and if I've been watching AD, I think AD's at his last days. Hey, well,
you see doom and gloom. I see a path being created for the Lakers to end up where I believe they were going to be. LeBron doesn't need to respond to the Dillon Brooks, all right? The only thing LeBron will ever need to say to Dillon Brooks is nice series. And as he walks to the locker room to celebrate going on to the next round.